to another installment of the Fan and Fanatic Pep Rally. So, without further ado, let's get into the first segment, Inside the Mind of the Fanatic.
Okay, we got a good one here. There's a little bit of backstory. Don't know if we want to get into it, but Parker, you had a search here for Jordan, or it was Michael Jordan, Stefanel jersey. Tell me a little bit about that.
So my brother had got a Stefanel jersey from the Turkish league. That was Michael Jordan, and I'm like, oh man, I want to get me one of those.
Well, Well, he didn't get it. I ordered it.
Yeah,
it was too small.
So we gave it to one of his.
There's some history. Did you look up to see like what it was, or you just were trying to buy one?
I think I was just trying to look it up. I don't know.
Well, why don't we give a little history? Because there was in 1985, Michael Jordan took a trip to Europe and played for the Italian club Stefanel Trieste, I believe maybe that's how it's pronounced. Ended up scoring 30 points in the one night. But the most famous part about that, Parker, is late in the game, he had a one-handed dunk and he shattered the backboard.
So he basically did what Shaq does all the time.
But he did it international.
Yeah.
All right. I got one more. Because I don't know if this is sports related, but it seems to be personal here. As you know, Parker, I grew up in Florida, and we got a search here for Florida Man Radio Network. What is that? I
don't know. I was just fumbling across the web earlier today, and I found I was looking at a list of radio stations that broadcast in Orlando, and it just so happens that one of the digital sub-channels of one of the stations is the Florida Man Network. So I'm like, is that just a bunch of Florida Man stories?
Did you find out what it is?
No. And for those that might not know, a Florida Man story is basically just about a deranged Floridian that does something stupid.
Which very rarely happens.
Oh, and
but anyway,
there was one other search I wanted to that you didn't point up that.
Okay, go for it.
So earlier this week, we were on the way home from a vacation. I'm not going to say where because, and I was watching this YouTube video from this YouTube channel called Am I the Genius? And it was a story about a dude. I don't know. I don't exactly remember what it was, but the dude, but the classmates of the Reddit user that posted said story just so happened to be the guy that was part of the infamous Virginia Tech shooting from, once upon a time back in 2004. Is that right? 2004.
Just keep going.
Yeah, that's it. 2004. So anyhow, yeah. So
2007.
Oh, 2007. Yeah. Okay, so that hits the nail on the head, I guess. Now it's time for the second segment, This Week in Sports History. So
all right.
I'll let my broadcast partner
I will go
first.
And I got in trouble last time for being too recent with my history. We've also been really baseball heavy, so I tried to find something totally different. All the way back in 1903, this week, do you know what event started? First ever.
The Open?
No.
Wimbledon?
Nope. The Tour de France.
De France.
Yes. Now, interesting. So they a gentleman by the name of Maurice Garin won the inaugural Tour de France. And I was looking up some of the history about this. Parker, you'll find this, I think, interesting. That so they ran it again. It was really popular in 1903. So they did it again in 1904, and it almost never happened again, because people were cheating so badly in the second running of it. They were catching trains and sabotaging each other's bicycles. But they came back in 1905. It had a bunch of rules, and it sort of took off from there.
So basically, what was the event?
Seriously?
Okay, so the Tour de France.
Yeah, it started this week in 1903.
I believe... Yes, I know what it's a bicycle race. Anyone would know that. I mean, probably not anyone, but I think I don't know why. I don't know how I know that. Actually, yes, I do. So Phineas and, okay, you don't have to, I know I'm a geek, and yes, I'm going to put it out there. Yes, I used to watch Phineas and Ferb, and you can make fun of me all you all you want for it. But anyhow, they did an episode that was, I believe, was called the Tour de Ferb. So you get it, Tour de Ferb, Tour de France. It's wordplay, my dear boy.
Got it.
Ahem. As for my fact, on this day in 1921, Babe Ruth achieves 139 home runs with an MLB record's 575 feet hit.
Wow.
On his 139th to become the all-time MLB home run leader. So,
what was the distance on that?
575 feet. So
Wow.
good for Babe.
Wow, that's really far.
The leader now is one Mr. Barry Bonds with a whopping 756 home runs. 762. And second to that is Mr. Henry Hank Aaron with a whopping 755. And Babe Ruth ranks third on the list with a whopping 714 home runs. So, wow. Okay. I guess it just goes to show you.
Not sure I followed all those numbers, but that's okay.
Did they play longer back then?
I don't know.
Did they have longer careers? Like, when you think somebody would think not. I wouldn't
think they were as healthy, but
when you think somebody would have beat them by now?
I don't know.
Like Barry Bonds. Well,
we know
there was a lot of let's.
Yeah, so we'll forget that one and
the Bear. Well,
you're opening a can that we don't have time to open on this pep rally. Do we want to hear about our upcoming guest on the podcast?
Coming up next on the show, we'll be talking to someone that's near and dear to my heart, someone of whom is the son of someone we tailgate with at Auburn University, who happened to play D3 football at Washington and Lee University in Lexington, Virginia, right across the pond from VMI.
Across the street.
Right across the street, pond, whatever. Mr. Will Dyson! So tune in to see how that goes. All right, from my broadcast partner, Ryan Grelecki, I'm Parker Grelecki saying thank you for listening again to the Fan and Fanatic Pep Rally. Bye!